Welcome inside Gillette Stadium, everybody. My name is Mike Petraglia, joined as always by Patriots expert columnist for WEEI.com, Christopher Price. To sum this one up, I didn't see that one coming. The Eagles shocked the New England Patriots by a score of 35-28, leading this game 35-14 at one point in the fourth quarter. Patriots make a furious comeback in the fourth quarter, but it falls short. The Patriots lose their second straight, something we haven't said in these parts since weeks 2 and 3 of the 2012 season, when the Patriots lost in similarly shocking fashion here at home to Arizona, and then they lost that controversial game on Sunday night in Baltimore. Chris, what went wrong on Sunday?
With poor quarterback play and poor special teams play. That's maybe one of the only times I have said that since I've started covering this team in 2001. The special teams play, which has been so integral to their success over the last dozen-plus years, failed them on a couple of occasions tonight. The onside kick, drop kick, whatever you want to call it initially, the failure to get after Darren Sproles on the kick return, or the punt return, I'm sorry. It just across the board, several breakdowns when you're talking about special teams. Usually the Patriots are one of the best, if not the best team when it comes to special teams play. We note that every single week. This week, Philadelphia was able to do a better job on special teams. The other thing is the quarterback play. Tom Brady, by his own admission, just now in the press conference, said it was not his finest hour. He made several bad decisions. He made threw the two picks, which really turned out to be killers for this team. All that being said, they had a shot at it late. They weren't able to convert. So, again, bottom line, the thing that killed them today, the special teams playing the turnovers. I thought they played well on defense, well enough to win this game, certainly on defense. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough to come out of here with a victory.
I know what you're writing on WEEI.com, spoiler alert, and that is that without Gronk and without Edelman and without Dante Hightower, you see what happens. But to me, Chris, that's not what this game was about. The Patriots, even without those three players, and we heard this all week long, Patriots should win this game, no problem, even without those three players. My bigger concern from this game, the bigger takeaway from this game, Tom Brady continues to be hit. In the last three games, by an unofficial account, he has been hit at least 40 times. That's 4-0.
11 times today.
And 11 times in this loss. That's too many. And I think what's happening, and I could be totally off on this, I think those hits are starting to accumulate, and that disrupts Tom Brady's thinking in the pocket.
Well, it's a domino effect. I think that you see the quarterback spending more time in the pocket with the football, holding on to the football a little bit longer, because the receivers that you have now don't have the ability to get separation consistently. I'm not talking occasionally here and there. You get some performances from guys like Scott Chandler and Keshawn Martin. You're able to get success there. But again, across the board, when you're looking at guys like Edelman, Amendola, when he's healthy, when he's 100%, Gronkowski, those guys can get separation. Brady can spend 1 or 2 seconds in the pocket, flinging the ball out, flinging left, flinging right, whatever the case may be. You don't get that now, and you have to have more time for Brady. You have to have more time for him in the pocket, and quite frankly, when Brady ends up spending more time in the pocket now, 4 or 5 seconds at a time, more often than not, a good pass rusher is going to get him.
All of that may be very well true, and is really, for the most part, true. But let's face it, the Patriots were up 14-0 in this game. They had finally shaken off that sluggish first quarter. Fine, we give them that. Every team is allowed a sluggish start. You get up 14-0, and then, for whatever reason, and Belichick obviously was asked about this after the game, we do what we thought was best for the team. And in that situation, what the Patriots special teams coach, Joe Judge, convinced Bill Belichick to call was a Nate Ebner drop kick. I just don't understand why in that situation you try that move.
Yeah, I don't get that move. I think the kick at the end of regulation also was the onside kick near the end of the fourth quarter.
Right.
That was also botched. You also had the blocked punt, which we didn't mention before. Just a complete breakdown across the board when it comes to special teams. The thing is now, the blueprint is, and you're going to hear a lot about this going forward, the blueprint to beat the Patriots is to get a 99-yard interception return, an 83-yard punt return, and to pick off Tom Brady. That's just not possible. It's not sustainable. Those are fluky plays. If you're an optimist coming out of this game, again, it took fluky plays to beat the Patriots. It took weird, once in a blue moon type of plays. That's not to dismiss the loss, because it was a difficult loss. And again, like I said, special teams is such an important part of what this team does, but they're weird plays. They're kind of these weird one-off plays that Philadelphia was able to execute on that ended up beating the Patriots tonight.
But I come back again to the offensive line,
Yeah.
and that's my concern because that is something that will be there the rest of the year. We saw Josh Klein go down with what maybe appeared to be a hand injury, a right hand injury late in the game. That's the last thing this offensive line can afford.
Yeah, it is. But again, I'll go back and I'll return that volley again to you one more time. It's all about rhythm, tempo, timing. This passing game is all predicated on getting the ball out as fast as possible. When Tom Brady does not have the most reliable targets, he holds on to the ball a little while longer, another second, another two, and that's when things really, to my mind, start to break down.
And I asked Tom Brady about not having Rob Gronkowski for the first time this season and not having Julian Edelman, and if there is some type of snowball effect there. And he said, no, we just have to execute better. And you give him credit there.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's really important. We hit on a lot of this after the Denver game. Momentum, I throw momentum out the window because momentum is one of those catchphrases, one of those keywords that a lot of people use. It doesn't really apply here. It's all about being healthy at the right time. You look at the Super Bowl champions over the last handful of years. It's all about health. It's all about having your core ready to go when the postseason rolls around. That, again, to me, goes back to the idea this team now has to do whatever it takes to get that second seed, to get that extra week off, so you can give those guys another week to get healthy, to get them where they need to be physically.
If you want any silver linings, yes, the Patriots did come back, showed a lot of fight in the fourth quarter. They had a chance, realistically, to get back in this game. Jamie Collins returns and strips the ball on the last drive, giving the Patriots that chance. Your thoughts on how Jamie Collins and Danny Amendola look for that matter?
I think Jamie Collins played very well. I think Danny Amendola played well. The guy offensively who stood out to me the most, though, for the Patriots, James White. 10 catches for over 100 yards. He's earned himself more playing time going forward. That wasn't always the case over the previous two games. I thought he came up big in some very important situations tonight. He's going to be one of those guys to look for down the road. I think he may have been able to kind of win over Tom Brady when it comes to that third down back roll.
All right, and we'll wrap it up by the big picture like you always like to do, and that is Patriots are 10-2, the Bengals are 10-2, Broncos 10-2. The Patriots are now really in a race for their lives in terms of, and you said this earlier in the week, getting that first-round bye, which of those three teams, I think this team needs it the most.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing that you can hang your hat on if you're a Patriots fan is the fact that the Broncos and Bengals play each other. And that's going to create some disconnect there. That might serve as a bit of a break in the logjam when you're talking about the number 1 and the number 2 seeds. Frankly, though, the Patriots have not left themselves any margin for error the rest of the way. They can't go down to Houston and play poorly. They have to come out of there with a win. They have to go down to New York and play well against the Jets. I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So really the task is before them. They don't have, like I said, they don't have any more wiggle room. There's no more margin for error for this team. And again, like you said, the race to the second seed is absolutely vital for this team if they want to be able to get that bye and they want to go into the postseason as healthy as possible.
Almost as shocking, Chris, as this team losing 2 straight is that this team has blown 14-point leads in back-to-back games. I never thought I would have said it this year. And in the second half.
Yeah. The second half one was against Denver. Tonight was a first half. Tonight was a first half deficit. So, yeah, it's really rare. We've seen some really rare things from this team over the last couple of games, and it's going to be fascinating to see how they bounce back over the final quarter of the season because, like we said before, they do have some challenges. They have to go on the road. They have to win some games that aren't layups, quite frankly. But then the other thing is they have to balance that with the fact that they have to get as healthy as possible between now and the postseason. All
right, the Patriots drop a game nobody and their brother thought they were going to drop today. 35-28 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles improved to 5-7, and they're on the doorstep of first place in the NFC East. Patriots fall to 10-2. Inside Gillette Stadium, he is Christopher Price. I'm Mike Petraglia, WEEI.com.